This is the High Frequency Channel, and you are tuning in for transformation. And I am your hostess, Rebecca Urick. Today, I would like to begin by, first of all, thanking my very first caller, Heather from Mississippi. She sparked some inspiration for this week. And if you were tuning in last week, I want to, or if you were not tuning in, I want to remind you that Heather was 20 weeks pregnant. So we want to congratulate you on that. And she was struggling. She is struggling with depression and anxiety, and she's going off of her bipolar meds. And I just assumed, Heather, I hope that you're listening, but I just assume that you have all the love, thank you, all the love and support that you need. And if you don't have all the love and support, that you need to reach out to people and make sure that you have that, okay? And I wanted to, she was also working with or struggling with her addictions. She was going off of her bipolar medicine in order to have her baby drug-free, which is amazing and beautiful. And I love that idea. Just make sure you have the support you need. So what she inspired in for me today was I wanted to talk a little bit about depression and anxiety and where this comes from. So, you know, here I'm saying that I'm the high frequency channel, right? Staying on a high frequency. But what we don't realize is that unless we connect to or deal with the lower frequencies, we won't be able to maintain the high frequency. So like love and joy, right? So we would be like a hot air balloon, right? Ready to soar and go for a beautiful ride in the air and look at, you know, the beautiful scenery and be in nature, but you've got your ropes tethered to the ground, right? So let's talk a little bit about depression and anxiety today. And I may have a little different perspective on it. I think I've been very lucky that my parents really encouraged my creativity and me being different. But for a lot of us, as I said last week, our creativity, our uniqueness, our quirkiness, our unique gifts are really trained right out of us. And you have to understand that, you know, when we're born, we are learning from the second we're born, right? Is this my hand? This is what my hand tastes like. Oh, I have feet. You learn how to crawl, you learn how to walk, you learn how to talk, and then you learn how to play games. And then you go to school and you go to school again, and maybe you go to college, and then you get a job. And then you do the same exact thing over and over and over again until you're supposed to retire. So the learning ends as soon as we get this job, right? And that's when a lot of people end up with depression. And because our creativity stops, our authentic self, it ends. We're just like, okay, this is it. So we have to understand that and also taking into consideration that our culture, that our society, our family, everything, school, really kind of trains, well, as I said, trains that creativity right out of us. It blocks it. So we don't really know what we're here to do. We don't know what our authentic self is here to do. We don't know what our creative, our passions are. We might know some of it, but why are we here? What are we here to do? Is it to, maybe it's with little kids or whatever your passion is. Are you really being authentic with what you're here to be? Most of us are not connected to that. And I ask people, what would you love to do? And they can always answer me what they don't want to do. And I got to tell you, that's what everybody's getting. So we really need to shift our conversation to what we would love, what we do want to do, right? what you think about, you bring about. So start thinking about what you would love. So when you think about depression and anxiety, when our creativity, our quirkiness, our uniqueness has been so suppressed, because for most of us, if you were out of line, they would push you back in line, right? So we're almost afraid to be creative. We're almost afraid to be unique. That has an effect on your nervous system. It has an effect on the body, on the physical body that you're in. And you suppress it down enough and you withhold that authenticity, that uniqueness, and the body has to start reacting, right? I have this thing on my wall and it says, pain comes from the internal struggle to say yes to what you really want, right? So I want you to start looking inward and deciding what you would love, not what your friends say is okay or what your bank account says. So if you're like, I really want to go on a trip, but you only have $200 in your bank account, right? That would normally end the conversation right there. Oh yeah, it's a fleeting thought. Like, I would love to go to travel the world, but I only have $200, right? So we have to start thinking outside of our circumstances, right? Most of us right now are being controlled by our circumstances and by our bank account or the education that we have. And we say, I can't because I don't have any money. I can't because I don't have the education. I can't because I can't write the book because I don't have time. I can't start the new business because I've got kids and I've got a full-time job. I don't have time, right? So we have to start carving out time to be creative in whatever capacity that means, right? And doing what you love. So that even means, and what I recommend is start with baby steps. Start small. So baby steps will take you all the way up Mount Everest. And so think about it, like Friday night, you have an opportunity to go out with some friends or stay home and read a book. Or I'm just giving you an example. What would you love? What would you love? And then go and do that. So taking little steps, deciding, I'm going to pause, put your hand on your heart and say, what would I love right now? When offered a choice or in making a decision, what would I love? Not just to make a decision to move things forward, then don't make a decision, right? So starting to look inward again, discovering yourself. And I told Heather last week to, go hug a tree. I always say, tree therapy, absolutely, or pet therapy, or nature, or whatever it is that makes you feel better. Sometimes I have a second story deck and I'll stand out there, like tonight it's really windy. And I went out there and I just let the wind blow all over me and blow whatever wasn't working for me anymore away, and to harness the power of the wind, right? So whatever empowers you, whatever makes you feel good. So, depression and anxiety, right? It's suppressed creativity. Thank you. And remembering that it's going to make your nervous system and your body start to be either in pain or depression or anxiety, right? And then the other thing that Heather was talking about, and she was afraid that when she went off of her bipolar medicine, that she would become addicted. I'm assuming on drugs. I didn't ask, but on drugs or alcohol or whatever it might be. In addictions, again, I'm like the high frequency channel, which, by the way, if you want to check out my Facebook page, High Frequency Channel, or the High Frequency Channel, or thehighfrequencychannel.com to book a a free breakthrough call if you think you want to work with me. Addictions come from our core wounds, right? I'm not enough. I was abandoned. I was a disappointment, or I am a disappointment. I am a mistake, or I made a mistake, right? All these, and I know I might be triggering people, right? Rejection, abandonment, all these, like, these are all the lower frequencies that are very challenging for the body. They're low. So they're harder to feel inside the body, right? But if we spend all of this time in depression and anxiety, I got to tell you, joy is going to actually feel a little off and a little scary. And sometimes being in bliss and being in joy could send somebody back into an addiction, because joy is scary if you spend a lot of time in depression and anxiety. So when we become aware of what our core wounds are and we start to work through them, we shine the light, and then they're not as scary. So I get the image that comes into my mind is like opening the cellar door to the deep, dark basement, right? You're opening the door and you're walking down the stairs and you're like, oh my gosh, there's probably demons and spiders and like all these things, right? But if you just shine the light, you're like, oh my gosh, there's my bike from when I was 5 years old. There are my toys from when I was, or there are my kids' things. And all of a sudden, when you shine the light, they don't have the power that they used to. So it's important that we look at our core wounds. It's important that we heal our core wounds, or work on healing our core wounds, in order to experience the higher frequencies on a regular basis, to be that high frequency all the time, right? We're human, so we're always going to be working through some of that old energy, the deeper, darker stuff. But when we shine the light, it's not as difficult as you think. Again, if you feel called to work with me, or even just see if we're a match, please book yourself a free breakthrough call at thehighfrequencychannel.com. I would love to chat with you. And I did pull a card for tonight, so I want to share that frequency for the day. And then we're going to go to my caller, Ariel. So this is one of my all-time favorite cards, Playtime. This is so important. It says, these are the dolphin cards, the mermaid and dolphins. The dolphins know the importance of playing, as joy creates miracles and manifestation. So play lets your nervous system soften. It allows you to relax and laugh, which is so good for your immune system. And it also gives the universe some time to download your next guidance, or people that are going to help you along your path, or whatever it is that you need. So playtime is vital. Is vital. So please find some time this weekend, go with a friend, do something fun, okay? That's your homework for the week, all right? Okay, cool. So let's go to, is it Ariel?
Yeah, it is. Hi.
Hi, Ariel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Where are you from?
I'm good. I'm from Western Florida.
Okay, from Florida. What's going on?
Nothing. I've just been going through a lot with family-wise. just having a hard time with, you know, I don't know what my direction is in life right now. Just really
Okay.
confused. I feel like I'm never gonna find love. It's like I don't know, you know.
Never gonna find. Okay, so I always have to take notes when you want to find love, you want to know what your
Yeah,
direction is, family stuff. Okay, I'll try to get to all
yeah.
of them. Um,
Okay, cool.
so what I would love to have you do for me is
All right.
I would love which one do you want to start with? Do you want to start with love, what direction you should go in, or family?
Family.
Okay.
Family. Sure.
So you don't have to share with me what's going on unless you would like to. But what I would like for you to maybe share with me is what if there's stuff going on, and if there was, like, let's say that in um can you just briefly tell me?
Yeah, that's fine. Um, it's like my dealing with my son. Don't know whether I'm gonna have, you know, be able to take care of him. Like if I don't get mentally right, I just want to know like what I have to do to be like a better mom for him,
Sure.
something like
Okay.
that.
Are you working with doctors? Do you have support?
No, I don't have
Or,
any support.
okay, do you feel like you need
I just
some?
don't want. Yes, I
Okay,
feel like
can
I
you
don't
reach
want to
out?
lose him.
No, yeah, no, I hear you on that.
Yeah,
I can feel your pain, and I hear you. And so what could you do can you reach out to a professional to get
yeah.
support, like on
I'm.
a weekly? Is
Yeah, sorry.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can.
Okay. I was thinking about, getting. I left him for a few days with his his dad so I can figure it out. So
Okay.
I've been by myself. Yeah, I've been by myself, not knowing like what's gonna happen next.
So are you okay being by yourself, first of all? I just want to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay for now.
Okay.
It's hard
Okay.
because I feel like I'm empty,
Sure.
but
Yeah. So you
yeah.
took some time away. What may I ask what your, I don't know, I want to say goal, but what in taking some time away, what did you want to accomplish, or what would you love to get from this
To
time away?
I don't know, to see a psychiatrist, like psychologist, something like that. Probably get out a little more instead of
Okay.
being in the house. Yeah, because it's solely been me taking care of him, so it's been hard, you know, doing everything by myself. So I feel like I want to find who I am right now, figure out what I can do to be better. Like
So I'm going to give you some homework. Can I give you some homework to do?
yes,
Do
go
you have
ahead.
pen and paper?
What's that? 1 second, okay? I don't, I don't have them right
What?
now. I don't have paper right now.
Okay.
Okay,
So can you try and commit this to memory? First of all, I pulled a card for you, sweetheart. Let me see. Can you
okay.
see it? It says dream big. Let go of small thoughts about yourself. See yourself succeeding. I love this card. So right
Oh,
now,
me too.
and I'm just going to pull the second, I'm going to pull three cards for you because these are awesome. So dream big. So as of right
Okay.
now, and this is what I was going to say anyway. I love how the cards are so confirming. I think
Yeah.
that you are thinking that you aren't as powerful as you really are. right? I'm thinking
Definitely,
that,
yes.
what's going on in your mind is that there might be a lot of things, and this is where our culture um, and our society kind of weigh us down with stuff that we don't need. But what I want you to do is I want you to dream big. So dream with me for a minute, okay?
Okay.
Because you've got something happening. A major life change brings you great blessings and a treasure chest. So you've got really good things. An unforeseen windfall of new abundance comes to you now. You've got really good things coming. So what I want to do with you right now is I kind of want to just shake up the snow globe with you a little bit and ask
All
you
right.
if you had if everything worked out and you were guaranteed 100% success, what would you love to happen with your son and what's going on with your family?
Oh, wow. I would love to be stable, I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, having anyone else judging me, just me taking care of him and being happy with someone. And he doesn't have a dad. And it's like, I really would love for him to have someone that loves him as much as I do. That's what I'm looking forward to in my life. Taking
Yeah.
him, yeah.
What else would you have? Would you be so you want stability, you don't want to be judged, you want someone to love him
hmm
the way you do. What kind of fun would you be having if you had all this?
Oh, for sure. Like theme parks, his birthday's coming up, you know, um, just going places without anyone else. Like we don't have to, you know, be around people that don't truly care about us. Just,
Mhm.
like taking trips. Um,
I love it. Let me ask you
yeah,
something. How does it make you feel talking about this?
happier. You made me really You make me look forward to something
Yes.
now in my life.
So that's
Yeah.
what I mean by shaking up the snow globe. So what I want you to do, and maybe you don't have direction, maybe you don't have the love of your life, but you know what? When you shake the snow globe up and you're like, okay, if I were guaranteed success, what would I love right now, right? And I'm not saying to go and spend $1 million on something that you can't afford, right? But like, you can always go to a park, you can always go for a walk, you can always, play with him in the flowers or in the sand, or there's always something that you can do that's going to feel really good, right?
Yes.
And then what I want you to do is, after you start doing fun things, like, so when you find that your mind is going toward, oh my gosh, I'm small, people are judging me, I don't have any money, I don't have the love of my life, and you kind of start stacking all these negative things, I want you to go, oh, shake it off. Whew. And I want you to like open the door and take a big breath of fresh air and go out and do something. And then what I want you to do is I want you to do the same thing and decide what you would love in these other areas in your life. And we only have like 30 seconds left. So can you do that for me?
Yes, of course. Thank you. I will.
Good. Make sure that you go to my page, the High Frequency Channel, and like it, and then tell me some of the things you're doing.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
I would love to keep in touch with you, okay? So what's the first thing you're going to do with your son?
Take him outside.
Yay! Okay, have fun, all right? Ariel, have so much fun. Have fun, okay, my dear? I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you for calling in. Bye. Namaste. I'm Rebecca Urick. If you want to get a hold of me, thehighfrequencychannel.com, like my page. I would love to hear from you. I would love to work with you. I help people design the life they would love to live and close the gap so that they're living that life. And it is my pleasure to, my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for being on with me. And have a beautiful night. Thank you.